Hey guys. '64 Dudley, good to see you. Craig, g'day. Chris Rawlins, hello. Matt, good day. He's got coffee, that's awesome. Kevin, hello. Mark Osborne, g'day. Peter Noddle, g'day. Jim Minnick, g'day. Yeah, it's all happening here. No, it's not really. That's a bit ambitious. Stuff's happening, but not all. I mean, there's small amounts of stuff that has been happening. Just managed to spill a cup of tea all down the front of me. Anyway, got that, forgot it was there. What's everyone else up to? Kevin's making a CNC router or engraver or something. That's pretty awesome. We'll get to that later. There's something happening here too, but probably not particularly ambitiously. Nothing like what he's making, I don't think. Got a few bits and we'll see what we end up with. Paul, g'day. Craig looks like he's still working on the house, yeah. I saw concreting happening this week. I sort of come home last night and swept up. Just found a 20 on the floor, which is always a good thing. I must have found it in my bag. I better put that away. This is Australian money, if anyone's seen it. All you foreign people might be interested. That's a 20. It's plastic, it's polymer. See right through it. Yeah, it's got a hologram here. It's got a window here. Who's the lady? There's John Flynn on there. He started the Royal Flying Doctors, I know that. This is Mary Ryby, who was a... Oh my gosh, someone tell me who Mary Ryby was. That's a bit slack. She was a... Gosh, she was something to do with the First Fleet. Yeah, not sure. I should know. Learnt that stuff at school. Should know that. So that's Australian money. I guess most dollars or most money anywhere in the world's like this now, except the Americans, but that's nothing. But polymer money, we were the first with it, and it's kind of pretty awesome. And it's because we're lazy and it can go through the washing machine. No other reason, really. So there you go. Hey, JB. JB's got a new avatar. Tell us about it, JB. Rahastanox, g'day. And Darren. Thanks, Craig. JB's having a YouTube rebrand. That's awesome. I've had one of those weeks. Spent yesterday and the day before messing with this. Actually got copper tube for the pipe work that come today, and some 3/16 balls, which I never had. Box full of them, none of them were 3/16. So I've got those as stainless steel from being a DJ Winter, and some nuts and tails because it's cheaper to buy them than to make them, to be honest. And some split pins for the pump pins, stainless steel, so they don't go rusty, and a piece of stainless steel to make some pins out of because I couldn't find any. That'll come today. Can't wait to see the new content, JB. Exciting. So you notice that this is right down on the springs because there's a bit of weight in it now, and the springs aren't heavy enough. It just collapses. And it's still not quite exactly right. It's got a funny clunk in it there because, and I'll show you why. Pump's not on yet, but it's getting there. It needs some pins in here, which is what the stainless steel is for, with cotters on the back. And it needs a nut and a ball for the bottom, and a fitting on the top and a ball, and a piece of pipe that comes up and down through the back here with a double union, and that runs through to the front for connection to the engine. And there's another pickup as well, comes through to the front for the pumps and injectors for the locomotive. So getting there. This was done all the wrong way around. It's on there, absolutely. It's getting a bit heavy, but shouldn't have done it this way. And if I was smart, I wouldn't do it this way again, ever. I would do it the complicated way that it says. Well, not even the complicated. The issue being that any other way to do it, you've got to have screw holes in here, and you run the risk of the tank leaking. That's probably the easy way. I riveted these countersunk rivets on this end, or riveted this end with round head rivets on the back, and filed it off, and then I soft soldered all the angles on. So it's done, but it buckled up so it took a bit of getting flat. It's good now, but this is attached by 4 little 5BA hex bolts, one there, one there, one there, and one there on each side. So bit of a coward thing, to be honest. It might have been easier to bolt these on and then bolt this through the top and have no more problems. But anyway, it's done. Needs bigger springs, yep. These have got problems again, and they need some adjusting. This is catchy because how it was, this had a bow in the middle, but because I've put this on here straight and attached it nicely to these angles, they're now parallel. So the gap here is the same as the gap here. So this middle one in particular is a fraction tight. So we need some work with the file again. Got all these little horn stays on here, which have got 10BA screw each end. So they're all in place. Chopped them off with a bandsaw, nice and neat, and filed them up. It's plenty good enough, and certainly the most accurate and quickest way to cut them. So thanks, guys. So that's how that looks. It's probably going to have a couple of screws here and here when I work out where they go, just to hold everything in place. But at this point, it's probably not too bad. And then I think in this box, is it in this box? I don't know what's in this box. No, ain't in that box. Oh gosh, it's in this box. Oh, it's wrapped up here. We've got bits of sheet there for the tender. So it's about this tall. And by the time we get this much brass on there, because this is 1.6, 1.4, something like that, it's going to need fairly solid springs because there's no play in them at all. They're solid. At least without that on it, if you lift it up, it sort of stays there. So that's ready to go on too, but there's a bit of work before we get to that. So there's a serious amount of brass in it. And I sort of put away for a bit, that piece and this bit. I was really disappointed when this nice bit of brass, I peeled the plastic off it and riveted it up and then soft soldered and twisted up. Really a bit disheartening to find that it's no longer flat and beautiful as it was. It was nice and shiny like that. But it'll do the job and it looks all right. So I really don't know. I guess I'm going to soft solder these, but with an iron and just low temperature 60-40 solder. Anyway, that's what I've been working on. There's not a lot of power in those springs. Hey, Stephen. Not Miro, but new brass sheets, shiny like this. Bit of steel wool on this and a bit of a clean up won't hurt it. Needs some work, but we'll get there. We will get there eventually. But it's getting heavy. It weighs, oh gosh, 4 or 5 kilos there now. And hopefully that's going to be waterproof. And when I put it on with 60-40 solder, none of that's going to melt. That's the theory. We didn't get your address. Sorry. Not sure why. Anyway, that's serious progress happening there. I'd like to get this tender finished and sort of looking like a tender before I do too much on anything else. However, let's move on. I'm only getting half the chat, sorry. Because I was only looking at highlights, so maybe I missed some stuff. Anyway, there we go. Probably doesn't look like we missed much. There's a, geez, $60 for that bit of brass. There's a invoice that was in with the brass. And $50 for the axles for this thing. And a piece of Teflon was $1.45 from Off Guts Galore. That was back in 4th of May 20 was when I bought all that stuff. So it's been sitting there a while. I'm going to push this back out of the way. This is something I've done this week, which should be excellent. I'm going to go right through this. Haven't watched Andrew Wales' latest video on his new engine that he's just got running. He's lapped me. Really, he's pretty good at this stuff. But haven't watched his latest video. I'm suspicious of something that I've sort of been suspicious for a long time, and I'm going to pull this down and start again with it and clean everything up and make sure all the systems are right before it goes back together, and have a good look at the piston ring. So that's what's going to happen in the next little while with this. However, I got 3 pieces of acrylic laser cut because that was the thickest the machine would do, and that's what I could afford. I lift that off there. And I've got brass dowels in there just to line them all up. And I haven't bolted them down because I haven't got bolts long enough. But that's a riser for that. And the holes almost line up, sort of, which is really good, what they do. So that gives us another, 15, 16 millimetres here, which is great. This gives us some distance under the flywheel, which is also excellent. And it also gives us some clearance here where the belt was touching on the pump. So that's progress on this. So when I get that bolted, are we back? Are we back? I don't know why that cut out. Anyway, so that's where we're at with that. And probably I'm going to work through everything and see what we find out. So there we go. Oh, that's heavy. Really poor show at keeping this bench clean. I've got crap from the heat like this kicking around everywhere. And coffee cups and projects and bits and pieces here everywhere that all needs a good clean up. But we'll live with it. Put this brass over here maybe. I might put this over here. Clear some space. Look at that bench. Hey, Mike. This is a JB project. And he made this for TMC 2020, I think 2019, 2020. And I haven't got to actually doing what I was going to do with it yet. Until now. So I've got a piece of acrylic cut, which isn't really solid enough. It really isn't. So I'm probably use this as a template and cut a piece of plywood to go underneath it, I think. That's the thought, because this is a bit light, and we probably could have cut it a bit thicker, but a fancy expensive laser cutter, they don't like going 100%, they don't like cutting this, they don't like doing that, so we're stuck with this. Anyway, there's my GoPro. There's my Starrett centre punch set. The rest of it's here somewhere. Just put that away. So what we've got is JB's laser cutter. That's what we're working on. I've got most of the bits kicking around. There's still a few things that I need to get, but not crazy expensive to do any of it. It's got 2 rods through here, and these are all 3D printed. We'll see how long they last. What I was going to do, what was I going to do? No idea. You see how insanely organised I am today? Apologise for that. I had a pretty big day at work, and I got home and I really couldn't be. But anyway. I'll set this on some 1, 2, 3 blocks which look half professional. Steppers go on top here. And there's a controller bolts on here. And we've got the rest of the 3D printed parts which have bearings that run, I think it runs sort of this way. Put it up here so you can see it. These are a bit tall. Suspicious that's too low now. But anyway. Looks like it, yeah, I'm probably going to make one. So this goes in the centre. I've got half made. I've got all the bits done. I was it's sort of been kicking around here for ages, waiting for someone to laser cut it. But then it's got connections for bearings that go in the back here underneath, and the belts run through here on bearings to sprockets on the front corner with the stepper motor. And hopefully we've got XY sort of system there. And a blue laser, which I'm probably going to get something about 5, 6, 7 watts, something like that. Hey Mike, Mrs. Upward Management. And it'll be useful for things like cutting frisket film for masks, and cutting gaskets for engines, things like that. That's really all I want to get out of it. I really would like something that will cut frisket film for masking signs and model train restorations, things like that. That's really what I'd like to get out of it. I'm not sure what it'll cut. Can cut MDF pretty slowly, yeah, probably, but it won't cut much besides paper, I'm sort of guessing. So that's what we're going to go with. And it's not air assist, so it's designed for paper and card stuff that will blow away if there's a problem with it. And I'd like to cut cork gaskets and pieces for steam engines, things like that, but we'll see. That's that's the idea. Bit of work in that. Only thing I haven't got is the 12mm rods, really. And at some point in the next little while, I don't know when, I'll probably run to a set of them. So I really had to get the thing made so I knew how long they were. But they're 450 and 500, I think. At this point, I measure it again, but I think that's right. See you, Jim. Thanks for checking in. So that's where we're at with it. That's the theory. It's JB's design, and I would really like to. It'd be a fairly useful thing to have. I think it's just got two Arduino-driven two-stepper motors to some sort of software. We haven't even got that far yet. Might do vinyl stickers too. I don't know if that's a useful thing or not to me. What would be excellent would be able to etch photoresist on brass for nameplates and things like that. That would be excellent. Probably that's one of those things that we'll see if it works or not, but that would be a very, very useful thing for me. So that's where we're at. Lots of ideas. Don't know if I'll get it running. I'm a newbie as far as CNC and Arduino control and stuff. So I've messed with it, but I really don't know a whole lot about it. And we'll get the thing sliding mechanically right. And we'll see how we go as far as hooking it up. But that's the theory with it. They're the three things I'd really like to be able to do with it, and I reckon I should be able to cut gaskets with it. And I'd like to be able to cut Fisker film, which is adhesive back, like contact mask film, for yeah, it'd be nice to be able to cut stencils quick and stick them on things for a couple of tanker cars in Hornby that I would really like to finish doing up, and they could do with some writing on them, things like that. Anyway, that's where I'm at. I've got software that comes with our laser cutter at work that I really need to learn to use. Or come with our CNC engraver at work that I really, really, really need to use and need to learn to use. So that will be the first option. And if we get there, we'll see. But smoke extraction is a really good question, Russ Knox. I'm not sure about that. Let's get over the next month or 2 months or whatever, however long it takes, let's get this thing running backwards and forwards, and the belts and everything on it, and see if we can get two-stepper motors driving it. And from there, we'll see about stuff like lasers and things. But I don't imagine that in this big airy shed that we might need anything. So that's a project. I've sort of kept it under wraps. I haven't said too much about it, but I had to get a sheet of acrylic to do the 400 risers. And I thought, while I'm at it, we'll get it cut and we'll see how it goes. And a lot of the CNC bits I've got kicking around. I've got stepper motors kicking around. I've probably got Arduino board. I've got bolts and nuts, and I 3D printed all the bits in ABS, so we'll see how they go. Metalworks Machine Shop, g'day. And if it doesn't work, well, we'll start again or make them out of metal or something. But it looks like a pretty good design, JB. as far as the 3D printing parts go, they look really good, and we'll see how it looks. It said there was some issue with, I think, these rods. Was that right, JB? These rods here moving backwards and forwards, but we'll work on that. What would have been smart is put a groove top and bottom for a cable tie to stop them moving, maybe. Don't know if that's enough. But anyway. Hey, Everett. So, yes, the bearings were loose. Okay, we have adhesive for that crap. We'll see how we go. If they're not loose, they'll be good, and if they're tight, well, we'll see how we go. We'll fit them a bit. But yeah, probably only needs hot glue. Am I building it from plans? Yeah, JB published the plans for his TMC 2020 entry. He always has amazing TMC entries. He's had some of the best, and was pretty good entry. His audio let him down. If we're going to talk TMC entries, like everyone's TMC entry, time lets you down. And time lets them down. Thingiverse, JB, can you post that? I've got it somewhere. Anyway, all the files are on Thingiverse. You look for Marcus Wilson. He's the guy, and you can find it usually. But time lets you down, and you run out of things to do. And I'm reluctant, actually. Oh, look at that. Craig's right onto it. You're awesome, Craig. You really are. You're awesome. Anyway, the files are there, and it looks like the laser cut files actually work, and the 3D print files certainly work. They took a bit of messing around to print. Not even really, just working out which way up and stuff. But yeah, there we are. Anyway, that's a project. I've got a box full of 3D printed bits. I've got assorted electronic components, and yeah, I might have to buy some 625 bearings too, but I don't think I have any of those, so I don't think they're very expensive. They might be $1 each. But apart from that, it's I could say rude things about OpenSCAD, but I won't. I really had trouble with those files, JB, but only because I never had OpenSCAD, probably. Anyway, it all works and looks good. We will see. We will see. These are split, so theoretically they should be tight enough. If I've got to print them again a fraction smaller, I probably will, rather than worry about them being loose. I don't know whether that was a design issue or what. JB, did you use steel pins or these plastic pins in these bearings, and have they stood up to the test okay? The people want to know. And these have got teeth in them to grab onto the belt, so that's quite a good little design. And it's just a laser. I've got a blue laser here that's 4.5, 5 watts, something like that. I know I've got it here somewhere. I've got no idea where it is. I don't think I've got a driver for it, but I know I've got it, and it might turn up, and that's probably what I'll end up using. Bolts. Let's go and check. Yeah, Blackboard Rustnox is a really excellent option, to be honest. JB, bolts here. Yeah. The file has plastic pins, the bolts are probably a more sensible idea, I think. Anyway, that's where we're at. That's something that JB's boltages, that's all right. Something that at some point in the future might happen, but probably not particularly quickly if I'm the truth were known. I'm only buying a few things and I've got to wait for them. And yeah, not particularly I'm not spending too much money on it. Doing it on the free if I possibly can. Mate Patrick turned up from up north side of Brisbane. Oh, JB's got a new step. That's awesome. Big push on for the step. Looks good. Patrick turned up Sunday morning, which is awesome, and Amanda, and spent some time. It was really good to see him. He brought a box of crap. There's one from Cam. New video from Cam. JB's concreting looks smaller than Craig's concreting, to be honest. Looked like about half a barrel load or a couple of buckets full would have done it, but I might be wrong. He brought some silicon rubber scrapers for mixing putty and stuff. Awesome. Pretty cool. Glad to get them. And he brought some hand cleaner. This is really good stuff, actually. I don't know where you get it yet, but it's the first time I've seen it. But what do we got? Keep out of your eyes. It's about all it says. It's made here in Queensland, Mullandona, which is just down the road. Bushby Cleaning. 21 Activity Crescent, Mullandona. bushbycleaning.com.au if you want to look at that. There we go. But this is really nice stuff. This is one of the nicer ones I've ever used. He was right about that. So it's pink. It's got, I don't think it's sand. I don't know what's in it, but it's really quite nice and it's pleasant and it leaves the hands feeling nice, and I really like that. Anyway, Craig's onto that. What a legend. What else did he bring? Oh, a box of gloves. Haven't tried them yet. He says these are the best. And they're crazy big, which I like about rubber gloves. And if nothing else, I use them to colour my hair. Because I don't know if you've ever done any hair colouring, but the gloves that come in those kits are absolute junk. So, and they're black. Woo-hoo! I'll open them and have a look. Anyone heard from Matty? Hope he's okay. Bit sad. Haven't seen him for a bit. I really hope he's doing okay. If you're watching this, Matty, hope you turn up at some point. These gloves are really nice. Patrick's right. So they might get a bit of actual use. So, big thanks to Patrick. I don't know if he's watching this. He's trying to limit his I don't think anything happened to him. I just haven't seen him on live stream for a few weeks. I hope he's okay, and I hope we haven't upset him. Box gloves. He said some other crap. No idea what's in here. Haven't really. Or brought some other crap. There's a tool holder of some sort. I'll kick this over so you can see. New video from Maddie. Yeah, absolutely. We're just missing, that's all. No idea what that is. I guess it's probably a paper holder or something like that. I don't know. Very useful thing. Anyway, he sent that. Or brought that. It's a bolt out of something. No idea what that is. I think he was just cleaning out and thought he'd get rid of some junk. There for the sides of grinding wheels. I know what that is. I don't think that I'm going to keep them. He sent some other stuff to be, or brought some other stuff to be collected here too. So there's a screw out of something, which could be anything. It's completely and utterly stuffed. In the right spot with a bit of force, it just slides backwards and forwards there. The screw's a bit worn, the nuts had it. Don't know what lathe that's out of, but I guess it might as well be in my junk drawer as his. There's a half decent number 2 Morse taper centre and a sleeve, and probably another centre that's even better, and another one that's about stuffed. So some goodies come. It's really nice. People who come visit, bring things. Anyway. Oh, also, some other use. Sorry, he's okay. Yeah, and yeah, as long as we haven't upset him. Are we back? I think we're back. Anyway, he brought this down too, which is something I never had. So that might be pretty useful. That's not the one I was going to open. That one's never been open. There was one here that was already open. Let's have a look. Jeez. Are we back? Anyway, also decent Sunstorm respirator kit with cartridges and all the bits. So that's pretty nice to have. I never had one of those, so it's a bit of a score actually. It's all there and I think it's brand new. It was probably the one on the top of the pile because it's got the label's a bit more worn than the other one. But we'll put that away. Be a fairly useful thing to have. So that was another score. Anyway, that's sort of what's happening. It's the major updates. There's a. We'll have a look. I'll just skid you around here somewhere. I think, maybe, or not. Yeah, there's some sign work in progress slowly there. But nothing really to show. John Creasy, g'day. Need that if I get my nose working. That's right. It'd be very useful. It might be more useful if I'm spraying 2-pack paint and stuff like that, but we'll see how we go. None of which is likely to happen at any point soon. Dan's in there. He's having a cough, so he must be still alive. That's good. Any progress on the Gazelle? No, nothing at all. I've got to go and get springs for the locomotive from the same guy who's going to make springs for the back hub. And once I get that, I can start putting it together. But we'll see. That's where we're at. So this bench is it's an awesome theory as far as keeping it clean, but it's really hard work. And I'm not particularly good at that. On the Boy Racer, no progress at all. I've looked at bits again, and I haven't really been brave enough to get it out here on the bench, but probably it needs to be something that's in progress again fairly soon. But I'd really like to get that Stuart 400 going and get the tender finished for this locomotive. They're the two major projects. I'd say actually finish stuff. I know that Craig's thinks that that's a bit of a strange sort of a way to do things, but Chuck, g'day. Good to see you. And Tom Mike here, g'day. So Boy Race is still in a box in the cupboard, and it will eventually come out again, and I'd really like to progress a bit further with it, but at this point prototyping stuff takes funds that I'd rather direct to other things, and it will happen, but I don't know when. I think it's strange that people actually finish projects. Chuck, yeah, basically brute sale reveal, that's about it. If anyone wants to buy stuff, let me know. Open to the highest bidder on all levels. Anything. So I'm not very good at finishing stuff either, but I do have a complete rolling tender chassis here, which I'm a little bit impressed about. Needs a little bit of tweaking and a little bit of messing around and quite a lot of work with the file, but apart from that, we're doing okay. Everett, yeah. How much for a hit and miss engine casting kit? Gosh. JB, if you promised me that you made it, you're going to make it, I could probably help you out there. There's a couple here. Anyway, I probably should get rid of projects like that I haven't even started before it gets out of hand. Got a lot of junk. I don't know if anyone noticed that. How much for a half-finished Stuart Progress? I'll get that finished. There's only one more video in it. There's a weekend's work or 2 weekends or something like that. It's not a big job. Just got to sit down and do it. Robert Burns. Good day. Hope you're doing okay. They're having a bushfire, forest fire free season over there. Touch wood, or not touch wood, or try not to, or something. Anyway, not really selling stuff. That's where we're at with that. We are doing commission work for sign painting, so if anyone's interested or anyone locally wants murals and things, I'd love to have a go at it or look at it. Rust Knox, make your own. You're good at that. You'll end up with something awesome. Robert, that sounds true. So there we go. Honestly, there's not a whole lot more happening. Craig. Yeah, Russ Knox, hold my beer. Yeah, I can't wait to see what you end up with. If that's going to be a project, I'm excited, actually. I will be really looking forward to that. Um, Absolutely be looking for that. That sounds awesome. Um, got some emails. Thanks to everyone who did email. I haven't made any decisions. I would really like. I really hate people putting their hands up and their hands in their pockets for things, and I would really like to knock that on the head because it's a habit that none of us can afford, and it gets complicated and it adds to responsibility, and international postage and stuff's difficult. So there hasn't been anything there, Tom. Look, seriously, you didn't hear it here. I didn't even mention it. I don't know if you noticed, Tom, but I haven't mentioned it yet. I wrote it on a piece of paper, so I didn't have to. No idea. Start thinking about it. It'll be before Christmas, but I don't know what to do about it. Had some amazing offers, but I really don't think that there's something we need to do. So if you've got ideas, start thinking about it. But I don't know. Craig says, how about this? Is the socialist first prize? We've dropped out again. There's something wrong here. This had never ever happened at the old place. I'm going to have to do something about this, and I'm sorry. Tom can't take part. I think that's it. We're not interested anymore. We'll take this away. We'll change the subject. If he can't do it, then I don't know if we really want to even do it. No pressure. Look, seriously, first prize is a box of junk from this workshop. You can get anything, but it's probably none of it's going to be useful. And most of it is probably going to be reject. And some of it is going to be, guess what it is. Everett, yes, we have a few months. I think we have, everyone chipped in some junk, that's right. It may be a completely different format from last year. It may be a completely different format. But I'm not sure. You do pretty good, Russ Knox. You do pretty good. You've been some awesome videos. Shaver kit. Honestly, don't know where we're going with it. It may be it might be time to change it up a bit. It's an awesome thing, and it's really cool to take care, Mike. Take care. Probably if I do travel, it won't be to America this time. We'll see, but it's not going to be for a few years. And there's probably time. The other thing is this toolmaking competition. I'd like to take part, so I don't know what to do about that. I'd like to have a go at it because there's some pretty cool things that we can make. Anyway, I'm just putting it out there that it's July already. If it's going to be 2021, then it's probably 3 months, gives us a couple of months. There we go. We're looking for a fancy video, Everett, not a fancy tool. No, that's not quite right, but it might be fun. Take care, Mike. We'll see how we go with it. But honestly, none of us have got any time, and I understand that. And maybe it's run its lifetime. There were some awesome entries that are going to be awesome entries last year that are going to be so hard to top, and they were all good. And there's been so many cool stuff, cool videos made about it. So I don't know. Anyway, bit of paper's there. It's got it written on it, and yeah, look, I think that there's probably, we're going to have a bit of a meeting about it. And I haven't even talked to Stephen Lang. The couple of times it's come up, he hasn't been in the picture. He hasn't been here on the live stream. So I haven't really had a conversation with him, and we never ever seem to be up at the same time. So at this point, I've got no ideas. I'm out of ideas. But I've got some tool making ideas that might be pretty cool too. And I still want to make there's still projects from last year and from the year before that I still want to make. Everett, that's a good idea. The trouble is everyone wants to do that because they don't have to make a video. That's the problem. That's the issue. I seem to be saying that a lot tonight. I'm a bit tired, but anyway, that's where we're at. And potentially it might be fun. Yeah, make a centre punch. I'm Dan be the judge. That'd be fun. Seriously, there's some pretty cool stuff, and there's always projects that I'd like to make from every year, and I haven't made a rotary brooch yet, and I haven't made a floating reamer holder, both things that I could have used this last fortnight. And I've probably got materials to do both. I've got the drawings. If you see those videos and you're interested in doing them, or making those projects, hit up Tom Make here. He's changed his channel name. Hit him up. That rotary brooch project was pretty cool, and bits are available and drawings and stuff. And hit up Go Create for the floating reamer holder, because Matty's got one of them. It's an awesome tool. I really like that. Hit up JB about the laser cutter, because it's something I'm going to make. Chris Anderson did a surface plate, and I absolutely made one of those. That was 2018, I think. It's in that wooden box over there, JB. Yet to be completed. That's another project. It's out on the bench. It's pretty cool. That's progress, but we'll see how it goes. But it needs hinges and catches and things, and a coat of paint or varnish or something. So there we go. So there's cool things come out of it, and I haven't actually made either of them tools yet. And there's other things that I'd like to make, and I've got a list, like a huge list of even mill accessories that I would like. Anyway, I could spend all my life just making tools, and it gets out of hand. Anyway, Peter Noddle just had a thought on Discord that I just saw it pop up. Get him to make someone else's project from a previous competition. That might be fun too. But anyway. There's some improvements. Okay. Tom, yeah, let us know. Oh, and bandsaw accessories. We could do with a dozen of them too. And lathe accessories. There's books full of pictures of lathe accessories for my lathe that I haven't got yet. And honestly, yeah. There's a lot of things I could build, but when we're making projects like this crazy thing. Anyway, I'm just prattling on here. I probably haven't had dinner yet, and it's been a pretty crazy day at work. It's probably, I'm going to call it. And thanks to everyone for listening. Subscriber count's up to 7,060, which is awesome. And I'm really, just prattling here, so sorry. But good to see you all. Hope everyone's okay. Hope we're doing okay. Well, where's the problem with that, Russ Knox? It makes judging a little bit easier. Take care. Be kind to each other. Don't forget to like and subscribe if it actually does anything. I don't know. And more soon. We'll see how we go. But it's awesome to see you all. Especially Australian creators and viewers. It's good that you tune in. And people who get out in America in the wrong time of the day to tune in, that's awesome too. So really appreciate it. I'm out anyway, and I'll be on Discord in a minute when I've got some dinner.